The backstory of the Iran nuclear deal is fascinating. It goes back to the 1950s. In the 1950s, the US saw a communist under every Bush. It was the McCarthy era at home and abroad. People like Nelson Mandela were deemed terrorists. Apartheid was suddenly in fashion with Washington, D.C. and Capitol Hill. And Iran, which had the first democratically elected leader called Mohammad Mossadegh, who wanted a little more money from the British for Iranian oil, was booted out. Instead, the man who replaced him was the Shah, an opulent, weak, vacillating, ostentatious, despotic ruler who threw opponents he didn't like into jail and spent money celebrating lavish anniversaries of 2,500 years of monarchical rule in his country. Naturally, such a despised ruler was bound to be booted out. It was a question of when, not whether. And when the revolution came in 1979, it came with enormous ill will towards America. It came with bloodshed. It came with the siege of the US embassy, and consequently, there has been ill will ever since. So the backstory of the US-Iran nuclear deal goes back in different conceptions of the world. The Americans thought the Iranians were the axis of evil. They were terrorists. They were a regime propping up attacks all around the world against itself and its allies, such as Israel. And the Iranians saw America as the great Satan, or the US as the great Satan, and the root of exploitation, the root of imperialism. And so this deal becomes fascinating because it draws a line in the sand and puts the past behind. And now the US and Iran are in a historic rapprochement, almost back to the 1953 era, except without the coup.